Right. Have you still got the broadcast up there, mate?
I have.
Is that any better now?
That is much better. Now you've decided to fix your settings, we are back. So you're probably best off introducing everybody to where we are again.
I will
you've done it
go.
once.
I will go again. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the GP2 race in Singapore. I'm joined by my favourite Welshman, Mr. Dan. How are you, mate?
Not bad, mate. Not bad after that brief technical glitch. Looks like we've got a dry first part of qualifying anyway. First man out on track was Maz, but somebody's just blasted past him in a Ferrari. I think it's Ricky. So Ricky is the lead car at the moment. He is out on his outlap and he's the furthest along. So, quite interesting to see what these guys can do here. Look like a close field tonight. Not many people like this track, but from the chat earlier, Ricky seems to love it. So he's my pick for tonight, before you ask.
I was about to ask that, so it's good you got that in early doors. I am one of those people that... I love the track layout. I think it's a great track, but I do struggle to drive it. I think my pick tonight... I mean, Worry Clouds look very good, so I think I'm going to go with Worry Cloud tonight. But
not a bad choice.
He's looked very good for the last couple of races, so it'd be interesting to see if he can maintain that performance as riding on board with Rick, and he's just throwing the car through the first sector so far. On the way down.
Punch that DRS, he shouldn't have much traffic up ahead, just a McLaren ahead of him on track that's a few corners ahead, so he should be fine to get through this lap with no problems. Ricky's down in 11th in the standings on 17 points at the minute. Beefy obviously is still a whole race win ahead of everybody else, so whatever happens tonight, he will be leading the championship going into next week's race. We've got NUF1 who's got himself into second, Rentbo then closely followed in third, and there's a bit of a gap. You've got Forza Ferrari and your pick for tonight, Worry Cloud, making up the top 5, both of those on 53 points, so they're going to need a big result soon if they're going to want to catch Beefy to win this year.
Definitely, Beefy's looked in insane form so far. So
this is a very neat lap from Rick.
Yeah,
very impressive first run at it for the first lap of the day. Sorry, mate. I'll carry on. I don't know who you're riding on board with, obviously, but I've got Ricky at the moment, and coming around the final corner. Avoid that McLaren of Seppo's who's just come back in, and it's a 135.2 to start us off. Very tidy lap. I imagine that's going to see him safely through.
It should be. Yeah.
Maz follows through 8 tenths down with 136.0. Also another good lap there. Won't be doing another one as he's invalidated straight away.
Ishinology, I think he was just letting someone go, but I don't know. He looked like he was in the wall there, but no damage.
He's got no damage. There's no damage on that car, so I think it was just get out of the way for Maz, just in case Maz was going again.
Beefy still in the pits. I'm on board. Rembo's invalidated. We've got Aravert coming around the final corner. See what time he can set, and it's a 37.2. So he's a little bit off the pace. But God sneaking into P2 with a 36.0, and Brandon with a 36.1. So I think your pick is looking very good tonight, mate.
Yeah, that's a mighty lap in comparison so far from Rick for the first lap out of the day. Ferrari at top at Singapore, just like last year. But we do have now the other Ferrari. Ishinology was in a wall there.
Oh.
And double check if he's got damage, if it gives me the right view for it. Still on an outlap, so if he's got no damage, he's okay. I'm not sure if he was going slow or not, but there's no one around him on the track map to get in the way of. He has got a Williams coming up behind him now, but no idea. Beefy is just leaving the pits.
Yeah,
so championship leader is going to be going around. We've got a new guy as well, Casey Jennett. He's just started his fast lap. He's in sector 1, making his debut tonight. So he might be one to watch.
I'm going to finish this last sector with Worry Cloud. See what time we can set. Coming around now, the final 2 corners. Just needs to keep it valid, and it is a 36.9. So it goes back to your point about Rick's time just being out of this world through the first qualifier so far. I mean,
we've got John Cox in the chat. Evening, John. Hope all is well, mate. Nice to see you watching. One of our 3 viewers for tonight, which would be nice.
What other than me and
There's
you?
usually more of us in the booth than watching us talk and listening to us talk absolute nonsense for 2 hours.
We have a hat in the wall, and that it.
And that's a DNF.
Yes, perfect. So he's out. That is not ideal to be starting at the background here, around any sort of street track, especially around here. But we'll follow on board. Rembo's invalidated again, so she's having a bit of a. Unless that's her outlap, no, it's not. So she's having a bit of a wobble.
Casey Janet is coming up to the what I'm going to call the Energetics Tunnel for this weekend, because he loves tunnels, and that's where he decided to leave his car parked up in the middle of the race on Thursday.
I mean, he just loves crashing in the tunnel. He did it at Abu Dhabi in the pit lane.
Yeah, he loves a tunnel.
He does.
Casey goes 6th with a 36.899. Nice solid lap. Get that first one out the way. Get the nerves out. Pressure lifted a little bit on your debut.
Definitely. It's always hard to come in and try and show your pace early doors.
We've got
the nerves
Rick
will be there.
asking in the Discord, what's the weather for the race and rest of quali? You know more than us, Rick, as you are able to get in the pits and see. Because we don't get that information, mate. If you're watching. If you're not, I don't blame you. Right, we've got Williams coming into the last sector. Looks like he's coming back into the pits. That's Bagos. Seppos is on a lap in sector 2, and his teammate Worry Cloud is just coming back into the pit. So, who's that Renault? Zayaverg, he's 10 seconds down, he's on an in lap.
Yeah. You've got,
So,
I think you've got
Ashwin is the next on the fastest lap. He's going to be the next across the line, if he can keep it valid.
Oh, I nearly had a little
Close
bit
to the wall there, close, pushing the limits at least. So 136.5, up to 6th. Decent start.
Beefy, not Beefy's invalidated. Where we've got Seppos, find Seppos right at the end of the lap here. Looks a little bit scruffy. Just coming out the corner, caught him with, and it will be a 37.4. So
we've got Knowlesy in the chat saying unlucky Rentbo in advance. So bit of love going on there. Chelsea scraping a draw. Those 2 Chelsea fans.
I think that's why Knowlesy's commented and not sat in the corner crying.
I assume so, yeah.
Crying into his bag of hula hoops, I think.
And Brandon in the chat after his 4th place. Good lap, mate.
Mr. Phil Mitchell. Liquid lappage! It is indeed, Knowlesy. It is indeed from Rick at the moment. But nothing right. If we go on board,
If he's giving it another go, I think. He's in sector 1. No purple sector for him, but he just needs to get a lap done at the moment because only 14 have set laps. They've got just over 8 minutes left. I know that this week in Tier 1, the qualifying glitch was enforced. So if you set a lap time after the checkered flag comes out, then it would be, you'd get a ban or a penalty or some description. I'm not sure if that's the case with Div 2, but I imagine it will be the same now.
They will be on that naughty step with Energetics giving them a big slap on the wrists if they do try anything funky. But a purple
if
middle.
He did get a purple middle though. Championship leader.
Is he going to, is he going to fly under the radar for us tonight? Now we haven't given him as one of our picks.
Well, he has downplayed this track. He has said that he's not a fan, he can't go quick here, he's not confident, but you know, you're not leading the championship because you're slow. So, we'll see. Nice and neat, kept it miles away from the wall. These last 2 corners are very difficult to go flat on. You can lose the back ends, and Beefy's at the 7th. It's safe. Should see him through. We've got, well, at the moment, Renbo looking like she's in danger. Just got a purple sector 1, but there's an invalid lap again, so
I think.
Also, the other tough thing is, if you keep invalidating your lap around here, is those tyres die very quickly.
Yep, definitely.
So they do become a lot slower very quickly. So you either need to slap a fresh pair on and sacrifice your Q2 or Q3, or you just try and do it on a set of scrub tyres. So it'd be interesting to see what she does. I expect that she'd probably put enough fuel on expecting that after the first few runs, but we'll see.
Definitely got Nosey.
138 is the cut-off at the moment.
Nosey back in the comments. A spank on the bum for quali glitch users.
To be honest, it's 7:30. I'm surprised Nosey's awake.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone for his evening nap so far. I think we must be keeping him up, Dan. I think he wants to hear our lovely voices for the next 2 hours.
But he's probably listening to us to put him to sleep, to be fair.
Nah, that's a lie. He's probably sat there, bag of hula hoops, glass of red, living his life, and gonna have a nap after, I think.
We've lost Casey, his connection. I imagine that'll be. I'll see if I can get him an invite back. I think, yeah, I know he's on my friends list. Right, there's an invite for Casey. I better send him a spare as well. I know that he has had some Wi-Fi issues of late. At least he's got a spare invite. See you in a bit. Got a race. Good luck, Knowlesy. Enjoy. Turned into a bit of a podium master in his in the last week or so. Various leagues.
He has. He's
Right, Maverick has invalidated, so he's still yet to find a lap time out there. So Bagos is 138. Although he isn't the fastest time on the board, it's safe because the other guys behind him can't actually keep it between the white lines.
not at all. Obviously, I didn't race Thursday night, but I did catch up on some of the stream, and track limit seems to be brutal here. I don't know what you make of them around here, Dan, but for me, looking at it, it looks brutal. It looks worse than Hungary at the moment.
It's very difficult. You got turn 1 is always Bagos has lost a wheel in the wall, so he's retired. So he will be, at the moment he's in Q2. Well, he's qualified, so he will take a spot in Q2. But that is his session over because he won't be able to do a lap in Q2. So Bagos getting no higher than 15th. He's lost it going into turn 1, and he's just driven into the wall. And then the wheels decided, nope, I didn't like that, I'm coming off. So
the one
first,
first, well, obviously we've got 2 people under pressure. The got the AlphaTauri Rembo is currently in P3 in the standings, not having a great qualifying one, pulling a Hamilton from earlier, not having a great quali, but maybe pull out the bag in Q3. Maverick's still in the pit, so he'll be coming out last minute, I think, to try and set that lap time and get himself into Q2. Strange to see Seppo's down there though, Dan.
Well, he's probably looking at it thinking, I'm 6 temps up on where I need to be. There's no point going out and wasting tyres around here. It's like I said earlier, if it's going to be dry for the rest of the session, which the lack of laps from the guys that have already set one. I mean, Rick's retired. He thinks he's safe, or he should be safe. Unless we get a almighty track evolution here.
Yeah, I don't know if it can pull itself along pretty quickly with the track evolution.
I can't see it being just less than 3 seconds faster. So Rick is safe, he's retired. But yeah, going back to your track limits, yeah, very easy to pick up penalties. You can pick them up on the final corner. All the way through the final sector, you've got those curbs that you can ride, and it's faster to ride them, but you get a wheel slightly off, and that's your invalid lap. Turn 1's another one, turn 1 and 2, you can get it all wrong there. Rentbro does that nicely. And then you've got the bit in the middle, just before the Anderson Bridge. You've got a tight left-right, and it's another easy place to get an invalid lap, so I expect a lot of time penalties. Right.
Yeah, there seems to be quite a few Thursday night, and they obviously played a big part in the results that followed after that, so hopefully GP2 learnt their lesson from GP1 and won't try and push it as much, but obviously sometimes you do need to. So actually, speaking of Seppos, he's only half a second off Rick with a 35.7, so maybe just tried to get that delta on that first lap, but putting himself right back in the conversation now to try and move himself forward and see if he can grab pole position later on in this qualifying session. Rembo with a little bit of a wobble on the back end there. She comes down to finish sector 2. Takes a nice right hander. Now this is where she needs to keep the car steady. Keep it valid. Sidey through there. Going now through the energetics tunnel. Just nice and easy on the power. Really nice power input so far. A little bit of a wobble on again. And now, don't want to invalidate these last two corners. He's done so well to keep it steady so far. So 1:36.3 puts her P7. Good lap time
Nice
from Redbone in the
safe.
end there.
Nice and safe. So just Maverick now to try and displace Ishinology for 15th. Was a 1:37.8 the target. But with only 1 minute left on the clock, and he's actually on the lap at the moment in the Haas.
Yep, just coming up to the Anderson Bridge now. Just looking, he got a yellow flag, but I just think that's Rempo letting people go. So back on board Maverick. Really needs to get this lap nailed down now. Purple through 2 is the Maverick. I don't know if that's just Codemasters chucking in a nice little awakener there for me, keep me on my toes, but keeping it steady through here. Doesn't want to hit the wall, as we said, like Energetics did, and I will bash on about it. I do love you, Hilka, but you need to sort out your tunnel issues, mate. I think you might need to go and see a therapist for it.
Well, he should be okay. He's only got Monaco left on the calendar, so he'd be alright now for the rest of the year. Maverick doesn't improve, so if there's enough fuel on board, this is a last chance.
That is, it's just not the real lap time you really wanted there. But we'll stay on board because this is the lap that matters the most in the rest of the qualifying session. Ishinology hasn't made it, so he can't set another lap time as Brandon puts himself up into P1 with a 35.2. So just showing that he has got a bit of pace. Ishinology has brought it back into the pits.
Just went on board for the final sector and he threw it into those final two corners.
Think VIL Mitchell's had enough vodka for the day then, mate, or coming out the arches pretty early doors?
Looks competitive, and obviously you tell you himself that his qualifying's been his issue this year. So if he can nail that today, you could see him up there.
Definitely just still on board with the Maverick now. DRS open. He needs an almighty last sector to make sure he's through, but he's 2 tenths down, so I think we're finding, and he's invalidated, so that will be the end of Maverick's qualifying, and he will be starting P17. So not the ideal qualifying positions for the Hasses. You're not meant to take what the Haas real boys do in real life. So P17, P18 isn't ideal for them. Hopefully their race pace is better than their one lap pace. So we will have to wait and see, but Beefy obviously setting a 1 lap. Rempo coming through right at the end. Brandon showing Rick that he isn't the only one that can get close to his time. So, see what happens here before we crack on to Q2. Remember saying I've never done a safer lap in my time, but in her life, sorry. You need to step up the pace though. It's a safe lap, but you need to step up the pace, Rempo, going into Q2. Can't be dealing with you going out. That will upset therapists, that'll upset energetics, and we don't want an upset Hilka because he will find another tunnel to crash into. Got Rick saying, Brandon, stay away. I don't think VIL Mitchell's going to listen. VIL Mitchell does what the hell he wants when he wants. So qualifying's looking a lot better from Brandon in the recent weeks. So I think it's far from over. Obviously, at the start of the session, it looked like it was over and done with. With Rick just pulling away. But now Brandon just comes in and goes, you know what, no, I've had enough of this, breaks down the doors of the Archers and grabs P1 and runs out the door again. So looking oh so tight. Becca, alright, no bloody pressure. There's only pressure if you put it on yourself. I am not putting any pressure on you at all. I mean, we do want to see Hilke crash into another tunnel because then it's the running joke. We can carry on with it. But the three people missing out, we've got Bagos, the Maverick, and TJ Furface. So, not really ideal with Bagos and TJ Furface crashing out. That was the Maverick's opportunity to try and get into Q2, but he was 9/10 off getting where he needed to. So, unfortunately, that wasn't going to do the trick. As Rick says, rain in Q2, I heard from Jeff. So, hopefully this can spice things up a little bit. And throw a few spanners in the works for a few people. But it looks dry to me so far. So, it could be normal service resumed for the boys at the top. Obviously, Seppo's came out with a lap time right near the death of the session and puts himself up there as well. So maybe Worry Cloud has a point to prove to everybody that he can't be written off. Let me find the constructors as well. We'll have a little quick read through the constructors while everybody seems to be going on their outlap, so there must be some sort of rain inbound because I've never seen a pit lane like it.
Oh, this was the same as Q2 or Q3 the other day. We all dived out, it said it was going to be wet, and it held off for most of the time. Only the last few minutes it started raining.
Well, hopefully we can have a little bit of a spicy first few laps. Maybe have a couple of people trying to gain a few places on these outlaps now. Have a quick look.
Interesting mix of tyres as well.
Very, yeah. A few people going on those soft tyres. How long did the soft tyres? I don't know if you used them on Thursday, but I have no clue.
The Delta will tell you that it's actually quicker to do a two-stop. It's quicker to go. Go ahead, mate. I
saw a few spots of rain coming down.
Yeah, they need to get these laps in quick because this will be it. If they can get a lap together on these tyres, this is probably how it's going to finish.
Yes, sorry, Dan. Carry on.
Yeah, so if you start on the start, obviously we don't even know if it's a dry race or not yet.
No, that is true.
But if it is a dry race, a soft, medium, I believe, is 2 seconds faster than the one stop. But obviously with that you sacrifice your track position.
Definitely, yeah.
And it is a tough track to overtake. Marusha will tell you that because he was stuck behind Farf and lost about 12 seconds for it.
Ooh.
On the weekend, or in the week even.
If anybody knows how to defend it, is Farf. Does make the car wide, so yellow flag. I think that's just on my track map. It is just a carnage of colour. Everybody backing off, but you haven't got the time to back off. You need to crack on. I don't know. I don't know. Beefy's still in the pit, so the 2 alphas are in the pit, so I don't know.
Well, Casey's only just rejoined the session, so he's obviously going to be rushing to get out there.
Beefy's.
Who've we got? The lead car. The lead car has lost the car a little bit there. Is it?
Yeah, lead car's Mads.
No, but Seppo's has lost an end plate. Seppo's was the lead car. He's got no end plate, so he has lost it coming on the Raffles Boulevard into that DRS zone. Because that's where he stopped on that straight, and he's got a lot of cars through here as well.
That could be his qualifying session over, but we'll get back on board with Maz as the rain is coming down now, and this is where the big test is. You just want to keep that car under control. Obviously, you'll have
Maz
a purple
has also
sector.
lost it. So Maz has ruined his lap on his mediums. He's gone deep. Not sure if there's any damage. Seppo's is doing a 15-point turn at the moment, just to get out of the way of the other cars.
Maz hasn't got any damage, yo.
No, I think Maz just outbraked himself going into that tight, or invalidated one of the two. So, if 10 cars can get themselves through valid, that could be our top 10.
It could be. It could well be. Rembo's still valid. on her lap. We'll find...
Well, Ishinology is the lead car that's got a valid lap then. It's a lot slower than Q1. These guys have taken it very easy around there. Rick is being slightly held up by his teammate. Oh, and he's invalidated. Rick is invalidated. He's going again.
Gods with a 40... Ishinology with a 42.6. Gods with a 43.1 on those medium tyres. I don't know who else is going to cross the line.
Those guys are safe.
Rembo with a 43, dead on. You know what, Dan? That actually satisfies. That satisfies me that time.
It's an OCD satisfier. A 43.000.
I think you're right, Dan. I think they're all safe. I think we've got... Oh, hang on. We've got Mars in the wall. Mars in the wall towards the final two corners. So I think this is going to be an absolute battle for the last few places. Brandon's in the pits. Maz is still on a lap. Casey now starting a lap. We've got Brandon going on to Inters. Don't think that's going to help you, Brandon.
Well, it will help him if there's at the moment there's only 8 valid times, so it could help. The fastest Inter driver could go through.
We've got Seppo's in the pits. We've got Rick on a lap as well. So
we've got Beefy asking in the chat, "What have I done?" Well, you've done nothing, Beefy, and that's the point. You've not gone out.
You bottled it, mate. You absolutely bottled it.
Oh, he hasn't yet. There's only 8 people that have set a time. There's still laps to do. Rick has gone a valid lap. He's gone again. Not purple, but he's going for round 2 on those mediums after invalidating his first attempt. So obviously Rick was, up until the last few seconds, the fastest guy in Q1 until Brandon dislodged him, but obviously having 2 attempts at it.
Yeah, but obviously one more lap. He's invalidated again.
My track map is like a Christmas tree at the moment. I've got red, I've got green, I've got yellow. It's insane.
Oh, I mean, we are 3 months to Christmas, so just getting us ready. I know, but I think we all want to get this year over and done with. DRS
is disabled.
And Rick did invalidate the last lap.
It's not been a bad year for gaming, is it? We should have more time at home.
Definitely, it's been productive on the gaming side, but I think there's a fair few that want to get back to work. But hey ho. I think this is
We've got 9 valid times. Mars has got one in there just before DRS was disabled, so that could have saved him after invalidating the first. But looks like it's going to be the fastest of the Inter runners that gets the final position.
I think it could be board with.
Sepos is retired, and that's losing it after turn 1.
It is, yeah.
So, if we got anyone on track, we've got a Renault around there. If we see if we can see that car, Mars. See if we can see. Comes out the pits. We'll see if we can see what Sepos has done there. Nope, and they've removed that car pretty quickly. They're good, the marshals around here, to be fair. We had no safety cars the other day, despite 2 people crashing in the energetics tunnel.
Beefy with a 54, so...
Janet with a 55-2. It could be Inters could get close to that with the right lap.
Yeah, I think...
But we will lose, it looks like we will lose somebody that obviously is contending. We've got Beefy in 10, Brandon in 13th, and Rick in 14th. Obviously, we've got a championship leader there, and Brandon's second in the championship, and Rick's my favourite to win this race, so...
Yeah, this is going to be
we are going to lose a name unless it dries very quickly in the next 7 minutes.
I don't think it will, though, but... Mars will be the first person on those.
Very slippery out there.
Is this exactly how it was for you guys on Thursday, was it?
No, it didn't get as wet as this until very late on. We had a wet Q3, but Q2, when the rain started, did not get as wet as this, as early as this, so we did have a chance to do a couple of laps on the soft or the mediums.
We will follow on board with Mars. He is the first person on the green striped Inters to set a lap time. Sorry, frog got my tongue there. As we've got Becca saying dry race apparently, but don't trust Jeff these days. Said Q2 would be dry. Well, that's what you get for lying to drivers saying it was going to be Monaco. You lie to them, Jeff lies to you. If you don't like lies in velocity, so I think you need to speak to yourself there, Becca, but thanks for letting us know. Hopefully Jeff isn't lying to us, and or to you. As Mars has lost the back end and battered the wall.
Yeah.
He's battered the wall more than the fish and chip shop batter my fish, so that is not the ideal start for him. Beefy, I mean, I don't know if he's
falling simile.
I do try though. That's the main thing.
I wouldn't bother after that one.
Hey, everybody loves a trier. Beefy pulls it into the pit lane. I think he might need to go out again. Obviously Mars has lost an end plate or half a wing. And then we've got Brandon and Rick on their outlap. So,
well, I may have placed the commentator's curse on Brandon after saying that he obviously needs to get his qualifying in order to get the good races because he's fighting his way through all the time. At the moment, he's in the drop zone on a wet track.
At least it's not me for once, as Brandon, I think, is letting Rick go.
He's letting Rick through.
I think you put the commentator's curse on Rick as well, with him not being able to set a valid lap time in Q2, but...
Well, I can only apologise.
No, it's not good enough anymore. I think you need to buy more PS5, mate.
It's hard enough to get one for yourself at the minute.
I'll take your word on that one there. Can't say I haven't looked yet, so... If we have an Alpha in front of Rick, would have got away just about where Perez and Ocon came to blows. But Rick now needs to get this lap valid and see what he can do. Maybe that DRS would have saved Beefy. And maybe he might have sneaked through into that P10 position. But this will be interesting in these last 4 minutes of qualifying. Who will go out? I think the top 6 will be fine. Worry Cloud is out there.
I think the top 10 are safe.
Looking
at the conditions there, I think the top 10 are safe.
It's hammering it down.
I'm just going on board with NUF1. I'm looking at his lap times in the race director, and it's a 31.0 to begin with, which is nearly 2 seconds off Beefy's first sector. So it doesn't look like those Inters are going to be quick enough.
Could just be a battle for P11 and maybe P12. They just need to qualify up as high as they can now and try and go for damage limitation. As Rick apparently goes purple in sector 2, I just think my sector 2 is broken at the moment.
I just don't think the game is fixed at the moment. I don't think it's yours. I think it's Codemasters and another slippery moment there for NUF1.
Rainbow is high. I think she knows she's safe. Rick has kept it valid this time so far. But yeah, Beefy's... I don't know. Is it... I don't think it... It's not safe. Rick's beaten it.
Rick has done it. Rick has done a 53 on those Inders. That's a great lap time. Brandon can only manage a 56, so obviously his error in sector 1 cost him all that time. See if he can hook it up a little bit this time round. No, he invalidates turn 2. That could be the end for him. He needs to have fuel, otherwise that's it over for him.
Pressure now back on Beefy. Miles on an outlap. Where is he on the outlap?
He is on an outlap.
Beefy coming towards the end, so we'll ride on board with Beefy and see what he can manage. That lap from Rick kind of astounded me there.
That's a great lap. That's a great lap, though.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to go any quicker than what Beefy did. Obviously, Beefy had that DRS use for him, so it just shows you the pace Rick has got round here. Now, as we are seeing people now retire from the session, as they know they're safe.
If it is wet in Q3, which it looks likely, Rick's going to have an advantage of already doing a few laps and knowing where the braking points are.
Definitely, yeah.
Because the guys that are safe on the dries, that are retired, no one's gone out to have a little play on those Inters, so be interesting to see who can adapt quickest.
Definitely. Beefy now on the run down. And he's done a 30.4 first sector. I don't know, I can't remember what he said for
I
Rick's
will let
was.
you know. He's just over a second off his own PB on those mediums. So unless it rained towards the end of his lap, and that's where the track was wettest, and obviously he will gain on those inters compared to the mediums for it.
Yep.
Let's double check Rick. Yeah, Rick was a 30.2 in sector 1, which, if he is only 2 tenths off that at the moment.
Does now need an almighty
a
second.
43.5, so if he needs a 43.3 to 43.8, he's about half a second off here.
He needs to get on with it, or Beefy could be having to battle his way through around the streets of Singapore. Coming now up to the Energetics tunnel. There's a bit of pressure on Beefy now as Brandon retires from the session. I think he's binned it. Brandon's binned it, I think. Beefy, I don't think he's gonna do it. He might.
Oh, it's a bit slippery.
Oh,
no,
he
doesn't
hasn't.
improve.
It's a 10th.
That's it then. Anyone else on track still? Oh. We've got a Ferrari in a wall. We've got Mars is still out there, but Rick's binned it. Rick's crashed.
Oh. Oh. Well.
So that will be Rick starting in P10 if nobody takes him out of Q2. Did he just crash on an in-lap?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Casey though, the last man. You've got Mars as well, but Mars is nowhere near it.
Oh, that's deep. Deep for Mars.
Now it's all down to what Casey can do.
You know what? That track looks dry now.
It's stopped raining. I don't think he's going to do it. Oh no, he's just dropped the back end.
And slides over the line to end out Q2. In style.
Wow.
So we could have a dry Q3 then.
I think it will be. But yeah, Rick is out. His name is in the dark, so Rick's binned it on his in-lap. So out of qualifying, we have Rick, who did make it. FIFA Beefy in 11th for championship leader. Casey in P12. Mars in 13th, and Brandon P14. And Seppo's obviously not set at the time. So a 9-driver shootout, damn. Now who's your bet on?
No, we don't. We don't put commentators' curse on these guys in Q3. We've done it to 2 already. We're not going to do it again.
You're not playing ball with me tonight, are you? At all.
Well, Rick's saying in the chat that he lagged and crashed, so he's a bit annoyed with himself for that one.
Well, that dried up really quickly towards the back end of that Q2 session. It looks absolutely bone dry out there.
It will be slippery though.
Yep.
That rain would have washed all that Q1 rubber away. Everybody on the softs.
Everybody on the softs.
Nobody out yet.
A bit of a strange one. Maybe they're just all... Oh, we have action.
That's an AlphaTauri out first.
Got Beefy in the comments. I went out on new softs. Didn't know the rain was coming so fast. Gutted. If anybody can make it through the field, Beefy, it would be you, bud. You did it at Hungary. I'm sure you can do it here as well. But we will wait and see what happens going down into turn 1. Who is first out on track? I think it's Rembo. It is.
It is. See if we can get a valid lap this time.
I don't think they like valid laps in the valleys, do we, Dan?
It looks very slippery on that track.
Yeah, I don't envy that at all. Yeah,
I can see pole position being set in the last minute of the session.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit more rubber down from the 9 cars going out and everybody pumping it right at the end. Be interesting to see what sort of time do you think roughly now we've had the rain come down. What time is in your ballpark?
It'll be the same as Q1, won't it? Roughly around that time, which obviously was Rick and NUF1. None of these guys got close, so I can't remember what the time was, to be perfectly honest with you.
It was 35.2 from Brandon. Where am I?
I think if anyone gets in the 34s, then that's going to be pole.
Definitely. I mean, the next person highest up from Q1 who's still in is Gods with a 36.0. So, but anything can happen in this last part of qualifying with 9 minutes left. Rembo now starting the first lap of Q3 with DRS wide open, going down the start-finish straight. Yellow flags again, absolutely
That's
everywhere.
Invalid.
Validate.
Next up is Gods.
I think Rembo's going to be cursing our names though. We've ridden on board with her, and she's invalidated pretty much every lap. That was close to being invalid from Gods, but Rembo needs to get out of the way, or Gods could get a lovely slipstream down it. She has moved out of the way. 26.5 first sector, pretty solid.
Obviously a purple sector 1, being the only one to set one so far. Just on board, Mars is also validated, so is Kurt, but they're all good laps for now. Missionology's just gone purple. Then Ayurvik's gone purple again after it, so I think it is just getting faster and faster.
Definitely, we've got yellow flags. I don't know what that's for. We're on board with Gods again though. That is a strange DRS zone, I think, for this year. It did catch me out with it. I swear I just heard a wall there, but apparently not. Yeah, a little DRS zone going down the hill, Dan. I mean, 3 DRS zones around here. It must be quite hard to keep someone out of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very difficult to lose someone once they're inside that DRS, but that second DRS zone really didn't make much difference in terms of overtaking. Not that I saw anyway, but just seemed a little bit too short to be a DRS zone, but we'll see if it's any different tonight.
Similar
also
to the one
135.2, which matches the Q1 fastest lap, so that's a very good time.
Maz with a 36.0, Missionology with a 36.7. Nobody's getting near God so far. We've got Worry Cloud coming up to the line.
Axwin's invalidated.
And that's
so
a 37.6. Madden
is the only other one who's going to set one. That's a 36.5 P4. Only 6 valid laps.
Wow. So far, a racing point 1-2. Yes, George, I'm not losing myself that quickly, mate, with that emoji.
Did you get someone banned from a stream chat?
I don't know. It would be nice though, because it's distracting.
In fairness, he's probably got about 7 or 8 accounts, because I know he likes his own videos. Is that where he gets the views from, is it? Yeah, that's his viewers. He just likes his own. He goes to internet cafes, likes his own videos, and that emoji should be a snake, not a shark. Rainbow coming straight back out.
Will she have enough time for 2 laps, or will that just be the 1?
Well, we didn't get an in-lap, obviously, because it was invalid, so it was straight back in, so probably looking at the same thing, you know, you invalidate again, you come straight back in, which will give you enough time. I mean, they're looking at 1 minute 35, so 4.5, 5 minutes all the way around.
Yep.
You'd be pushing it to get another 2 laps in.
Definitely, but hopefully for Rembo's sake she can. Obviously struggling with those track limits tonight. I think she needs a new pair of those Adidas poppers, mate.
Well, Rick's saying he hates himself in the chat. You don't need to hate yourself, Rick. Just need to make up for it by coming through the field.
George saying the secret is out. Well, Dan, I think you've just cost the man all of his viewers.
He's been rumbled.
He has been rumbled. An early rumble from Dan. Two Welshmen going at it. One in the chat, one in the booth.
Ooh. Red Bull about to start a flyer. Keep it in the white lines this time.
I mean, for her sake, I really hope she can. But we will see. Where was take it you think you got a couple of pens on Monday night, Dan?
Yeah, a lot of people did. I think there was only 2 that didn't get pens. I don't think Knowlesy got any, and I don't think Aylin got any. Everybody else was looking at somewhere between 3 and I think there was up to about 20 something seconds of penalties. Purple sector 1 though for Rentbo.
When Rentbo has hooked it up tonight, she's looked very good. Obviously, it's a long lap to go.
You could say the same about the whole season, to be fair. Very consistent, always there.
Yep, definitely.
Slightly deep coming into the Anderson Bridge, but see if we can keep it nice and straight for the hairpin. Again, it's deep.
Not too bad on the power though, just make sure that back end doesn't have a little wiggle.
The DRS. Very close to the wall there, but yeah, this is probably the final attempt because 3 minutes and 30, you're not getting back in.
That was close.
No, there's not going to be another attempt at this.
Nope.
Well, this is the highest that we're going to see a finish. Let's see how quick it is. It's P3 for now, 36 flat. Only 3 thousandths of a second behind Maz.
That is a solid lap though. We got Racing Point 1-2, AlphaTauri 3-4. So Red Bull 8-9, which I don't think they'll be happy with.
Not enough time to go again, so that'll just be parked up, and that AlphaTauri will sit and watch and hope that nobody goes faster. Ashford
the purple sector 2, so he might be putting the squeeze on the top boys now. Kurt Boy just
Red Bulls
starting a lap as well.
Red Bulls are going to be Clay just getting out the way for Axwin there just in time, about to cross the line. It's going to be a valid lap.
36.3.
P4 splits those AlphaTauris in the Red Bull. That's the end of that session. Worry Cloud just starting one.
And Seppo's just left the session though.
That's obviously a disconnect because Seppo's was eliminated in Q2.
Yep.
So I will see if I've got. I don't think I've got Seppo's.
Next to cross this finish line for us tonight. It will be Kurt Boy next on a lap. Needs to keep this valid. P9 needs to make the most of it. Track where I haven't really ever gotten on with. I said earlier, I love the layout. Can't drive it to save my life. I drive like Stevie Wonder around here, so probably wasn't a bad thing I missed Thursday night. But as Rentbo has retired from the session, obviously can't set another lap time, but it is a good lap now. She hooked one up. But Kurt Boy coming up to the line now. This is looking real good. And it is P2 with a 35.3. Kurt Boy finally showing his pace that he actually has got at this Singapore Grand Prix. So he's looked pretty quick for the last couple of weeks, but now showing his true pace. As you have Gods coming to the end of Sector 1 as Kurt Boy's just retired on track. You should be doing that. So it might land you in some hot water. You do need to get back to the pit lane and probably retire in there, or just drive slowly and cross the line after. Not particularly great there. as your car is now going slow, as Madden will be approaching. I just hope for your sake, Kurt Boy, that your car gets out of the way and doesn't hold anybody up. It has just gone straight on, so that will be fine. There's Araverk in the pit lane. We've got God's obviously on provisional pole right now, a 10th in front of Kurt Boy and 8/10 in front of Maz. So Maz is just starting his final lap. As God's is getting up close and personal with the barrier under the Energetics bridge, and through the Energetics tunnel, I should say there. Sorry, correct myself. A little bit of wall banging up against there, but coming up to the line, it's a 35-0 and pretty much cements himself as Maz, unless he can improve by a second. I mean, that's a stunning lap by Gods. Maz is
2/10 up, but it's not enough at the moment.
We've got Becca in the chat saying doing the whole of Sector 3 with a damaged wing wasn't what I wished for.
Well, at least it was valid.
Maz is 8/10 off here.
Madden's just gone P3.
He has, yeah, he snuck in there with a P3. If Maz could have a good last sector, he could knock Gods off here. This is going to be interesting. This is looking really solid from Maz. Oh, he can't! It's a 35-1.
So close. That's a good attempt all the same. So we've got a locked out front row because Positionology isn't going to complete that lap. So that is everybody. That's it. That's our top 9.
Well, I think we got some apologising to do, Dan. Warrior Cloud in 8th. We haven't seen him that far down in qualifying for a good few weeks. Obviously, Rick crashing from P10 after making it through. Yeah, I think it's all up in the air now, Dan. I think obviously the 2 racing points looking really, really good. But I think
just wonder if they're going to be allowed to race. That's the thing.
Yeah. A bit of a.
Which one of them's got the Stroll car, and which one's got the Perez car? Because I know which one would be asked to move over normally.
Will there be a few God's It's James calls or tonight? But there it is. There's your top 9.
It'll be more like Sergio. It's your teammate's dad's move.
There's your top 9. We got Gods, the 35-001. I mean, if you could have gone 1,000th quicker, that would have satisfied me a little bit more there, Gods. But good lap time either way. Maz with a 35-1 race point lockout there. Kurt Boy in P3, Madden P4, Rembo obviously only having that 1 lap in P5, Ashwin P6, Araverk 7th, Warrior Cloud 8th, and Ishinology 9th. So
obviously Rick is the 10th person on the grid, but interestingly for Rick, even though he's in 10th, he did do his time on an set of Inders, so he will get free choice of tyres.
That is true.
And they will be new. So still not in the worst position possible.
No, definitely not. Especially with a free choice of tyre, obviously now. Yeah, we'll be making their last minute adjustments, see their strategies, fuel, and how much fuel they want to take out. So, gonna be interesting race there, Dan.
Yeah, it's 31 laps as well. It's a long way, longest track on the calendar, and for some reason they feel the need to put 31 laps of it on. I mean, there's 4 more laps of this than Monza, and it's over 10 seconds a lap slower, which seems bizarre.
That is pretty strange. I don't get that at all. I mean, I'd rather have 10 laps of this and have 50 at
hopefully
Monza.
Maz has set this to official time, so we do get the night race, as it should be. If he hasn't, it's his own fault.
Yeah,
Over to you, mate.
I will go through the list now. I will make sure I'm on the right tyre. So, We'll run through the grid from P1 to P19. So we've got Gods with a great pole position lap at a 35.0. Follows closely by his teammate Maz. In P3, in the first of the Red Bulls, we have Kurt Boy. And then leading AlphaTauri with Madden in P4, followed by Rentbo in P5. Ashwin in the second Red Bull in P6. We've got Araverk in P7 in the Renault. P8, the first of the McLarens in Warrior Cloud. And then we have the two Ferraris, Visionology and Rick BGR as well. FIFA Beefy, P11, followed by his teammate. There's a lot of teammates close to each other. Might be a few team orders tonight with Casey Jennett in P12. P13, we have Mars. 14th, we have Brandon looking for a storming drive through the field. Obviously starting on those hard tyres, as you just saw. In P15, we have Seppos on the mediums. In P16, Bagos. 17th, for first of the Hatters, you have Maverick, followed by his teammate TJ Furface on those soft tyres. So looking for a big stint early doors. And in P19, on the mediums, iStreams, who came through at about Q2. So interested to see what he can do around here.
Yeah, we got 5 guys going for the 2-stop strategy. Obviously, without a safety car changing that or weather permitting. But 5 people starting on the soft, so they'll be looking to do 2 fast stops. So they need to overtake. Kurt Boy needs to pass those 2 racing points at the start of the race.
Definitely.
Needs to pass them and build a gap before his pits up, because he's going to be feeding into a lot of traffic. Not so bad for the likes of Furface, because obviously he's going to probably be coming out on track in a bit of clear air. But Singapore is notorious for safety cars, so I fully expect at least one today.
It is maybe, just maybe, if obviously there's a lot of teammates together, will we get a Renault, a little bit of a Renault flashback to, I think, 2009 maybe, when PK got the team orders to delivery Bennett.
Crashgate.
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 Indeed. Hope maybe get one of them tonight.
Fernando taking full advantage of that.
Indeed, but
that was the first ever Singapore race, I believe.
I think it was, but
back when the Singapore sling was a thing.
Yeah.
Look at that, I'm a poet.
And you didn't even know it. Right, let's stop with the rhymes. Let's get serious, Dan, for a moment. As we have got all 20 lined up now. Will we have? Yes, we have. We got 1, 2, 3rd light, 4th light, 5th light. And it's lights out and away we go. A lot of wheel spin going from further back. But God's with a great start. Kurt Boy, there's a little bit of nudging going on behind. We've got 3 wide and I don't know what's happened. Casey Jennett with a 2:25 fastest lap.
That's a pretty impressive lap considering we're on turn 1.
Absolutely
God's
amazing.
Is away. God's is away.
We've got Madden. Madden's had issues. Madden's at the back there. So God's is just, it says, shot off. And now we have Seppos. I don't know what's going on. We've got a lot of ghosting. We've got Seppos and Casey Jennett both ghosting. So
well, Casey Jennett disconnected very early on. Seppos, I'm not sure if Seppos got back in, but there's some damage. Here? There's a bit of Renault wing flying around.
Mars is round.
Mars has reset the track there.
No,
Casey's back.
Furface tried going up the inside. That wasn't going to work for him there.
It's a bit of damage to boot to go with that. NUF1's dropped down to 16th place. No damage on that Mercedes though.
This has been carnage from the start here. But Rembo up to P4. Rick obviously P5. And look at Beefy in P6. He's got Ishinoji going down the side of Warrior Cloud, and I think they're just lagging into each other and crashing each other. I don't know what's going on now. There's too much lagging going on for me there.
There's quite a bit of lag going on, and we're about to lose the telemetry as well, which is going to make things not easy. There we go. There's the telemetry going all Codemasters on us.
I don't know where to look at the moment.
Well, Gods is gone. That's a storming opening lap. That's a 1.5 second gap. We got yellow flags and a Ferrari round. Casey Jennett is in a wall.
Yeah.
That's a lot of end plate missing as well there. So here goes the telemetry. So we know it's the 2 racing points that are 1 and 2. Ishinoji is retired from the session. Is that in the pit lane or is that on the pit entrance?
That is.
That's into the wall.
That's into the wall.
That's pit entrance. That's into the wall. Worry Cloud has left the session. This is not... Casey Jennett's just done a 5-second lap this time, so...
Good stuff, good stuff.
I can't see that being beaten tonight.
No.
And he did that by entering the pit lane, which was pretty impressive.
Hang on, I've got all sorts of... My telemetry's gone all over the place. Hang on, give me a minute and I'll be there. Thanks,
That's okay.
Codemasters.
If you get on board with Gods, it's the correct order, bar Mars, who is leaving the pits in last place with Casey. So Gods is your P1, Maz P2, Axwin is 3, and Rick up to P4.
Rempo. Rick passed Rempo, so Warrior Cloud's back in the session. Might get that frame rate issue, but not a lot he can do now. Ashwin with a penalty. The penalties are coming in thick and fast, and we're only on what lap? It can't be lap 2, lap 3.
It's lap 2.
Yeah, I thought it was lap 2.
It's lap 2.
Yeah, I've got lap 3 here.
Yeah, we'll get there. We go, lap 2. Telemetry has now finally sorted itself, and we should be good for the rest of the race.
Beefy though, not in that second of. Hang on, no, that's not going down.
Oh, there's DRS enabled. Rick's gone for the inside into turn 1 on Axwin here. 4P3 makes it. Rick is on the charge.
He is, yeah.
Next up is Maz. We've got a
Yellow
safety
flag.
car. We've got a safety car. That's Renbo.
Renbo.
And that's...
Give me a second.
I'll
find that. That is...
You need to get on board.
That's turn 1. I've just seen it on iStreams. I don't know.
If you go on board with any of the guys, the cars move now, but that's off the back of turn 2.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out what happens in a minute. The Discord or the chat, one of the two.
I think we will, but that'll help all the soft tyre runners out.
Well, the soft tyre runners, there's a good chance for them to get off. Casey's gone again. I will send another invite.
But doesn't help Gods that much. Obviously, he got that gap straight off the start line and looking to run off, but is now being dragged back to him. So this is all down to the restart. But Beefy needs to get Ashwin as soon as he can and get on the back of Rick. Casey Jennett back in again.
Well, Beefy can afford to come in behind Rick in this race. I mean, Rick's not in this championship fight yet, but obviously if he gets a win here, he's going to prove that he's got the pace to be a competitor for it. So, I'll put a statement down.
Definitely.
10th to 3rd on the opening lap. He's obviously the biggest winner here.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look.
Well, iStreams is up from the back of the grid into 7th, so actually he's the biggest. And Fairface, I think,
is retired.
He's drove straight into a wall. Just after the Anderson Bridge hairpin, I don't know what's happened, but he's out.
Yeah, I'm on board with.
We've already lost 3.
But... Yeah, he has. He just must have missed his braking zone and just binned it. So we've lost 3 in 3 laps. So if you go on like this, by lap 19, we won't have anybody left. But we shall wait and see.
We did predict the safety car.
Seems like, yeah, Rempo just
the tyres just seem to explode. Must be hot down on that track.
Reminds you of of some of the footage you sent me from Spain, Dan, at one point. Where you thought
the game likes to make a big exaggeration on those tyres going.
But as we just
we're gonna have to wait for these guys at the back to catch up. They're a long way back on this lap. Whether this safety car is going to come in without them or not, I'm not sure, because they're miles behind Casey and Mars at the minute.
It's strange to see.
They're both going flat out, so they're not being held by any sort of delta restriction. But iStream now, after that Fairface incident, is up 13 places to 6th position.
I mean, he's had a great start to the race. hopefully he can keep that up.
Yeah, he's not had the best time of it so far in this league. He's a couple of spins, a couple of tracks that obviously have not suited him, but he obviously likes it under the lights.
Definitely, but he'll have a hard charging VIL Mitchell coming up behind him in that Mercedes. But I think it's working quite nicely for Brandon at the moment on those hard tyres.
Yeah, those hards are going to go about 20 laps. Sort of 19, 20 laps on the hards is about right, I think.
So, I mean, they'll have fresh mediums to go to the end, and obviously we're on the quicker tyre right at the end.
Is no longer on them, so it's just hard and medium out there. Mars opting for the hards from the back. So expect Casey to be right on his gearbox on the restart, but other than that, we've just got the NUF1 and Maverick on the hard tyres. Everybody else is on the mediums now. We will have the safety car in this lap because these guys at the back are nearly at the back of the train.
Yeah, definitely. I think Brandon could be a pretty dark horse coming to the back end of this race. Be on those medium tyres where the people around him be on the hard, so be on the fresher rubber. But in the meantime, he needs to make sure that he stays with the guys in front on those medium tyres. Obviously, behind he's got the Maverick on hard tyres, so he hasn't got anybody too hard pushing on the medium tyres behind him. So
yeah, the only thing is with that, NUF1 and Maverick could cause a bottleneck if they don't get away quick enough. Because if they get in each other's DRS, it's going to be very difficult for anyone on the mediums behind to gain an advantage from.
Definitely, and sorry, Dan, carry on.
No, I'm just saying you need a lot of straight line speed to pass someone around here if they've got any ERS saved at all, because there's only two, 3 bits of this track that you need that ERS for. You bang it into overtake on the straights and you're fine.
Definitely. If you don't need that, the slow speed corners, or you would have hit the wall button and you'll have what Rembo had tonight, and that is self-destruct.
Lights are off, safety car's in.
We'll go back on board with Godsend, as he will be leading everybody away, and I mean this could turn out to be absolute carnage's restart. But
well, while you're on board with Gods, I'm going to go on board with Rick, because I think he's obviously the man on the charge, and whether Maz is going to try and hold him up or try and do his own race, I don't know, but if Rick can split these two, then he's got a very good chance of pushing Gods till the end.
Definitely. But I think those 2 racing points, if Maz can just stay with Gods, staying at DR, well, make sure he stays under that 1 second until that DRS comes, he might just keep himself safe. So obviously Maz does need to close up to Gods a little bit, because he doesn't want Gods is gone. Gods is pinged, and that's going to release Rick onto the back of Maz, and Rick lost the back
lost
end.
That car. Beefy's up to 4th straight away. Beefy on the back of Rick now.
Beefy now.
He's gone wide, but keeps the position. And Gods has gone again. I think Maz there. I think that was team orders. I think Maz just held Rick up enough while there's no DRS. He can let Gods go.
A very solid start again from Gods, now just pushing away 1.5 seconds already. And then you've got the train that you're on about, Dan. If it stays the same, you're going to have about 4 cars, 5 cars. As you've got Araverka's Worry Cloud is... What's happened to Worry Cloud?
Worry Cloud span, but I'm pretty sure somebody got wing damage off. I was on board with Worry Cloud when he lost that car.
Seppo's is... I don't know what's happened to Seppo. Seppo's just ghosted for me. Casey looking okay. I don't know.
Madden is past Maverick, so he's got him back. Madden and Maverick's a great little battle here. Madden obviously needs to get this done because he wants to get past the hard runners as fast as possible.
Definitely, we're on board with Madden now. But now there's no real place to overtake. You go under the energetics tunnel and make sure. Is the Sierra fact around here, Dan?
Massively. Matt Dirty is very difficult here, but Gods has made a mistake. Maz is within half a second of him.
He is, yeah. So this is training for the lead, top 4. If Beefy gets a penalty,
that could be crucial
cost him.
towards the end. He's usually fairly consistent with not getting any.
No, it's just catching up. I don't know what the dirty air's like round here, Dan. I don't know. Does it play a big factor? I don't know if I've just asked you that. I can't remember if I have or not.
You did, yeah. Yep, that's fine, mate. Alzheimer's happens to the best of us.
I got a bit excited with another battle and I just completely forgot what you said, mate.
No, it does. It gets very slippery. Easy to get a bit of understeer and go wide and exceed those limits. Rick is all over Maz. No, I'm not going to say it.
Go on, say it.
I think he's waiting for the DRS. He's not really using much here. He's got pace. Rick's got a lot of pace in that car. We got a VSC though. I'm not sure what for.
Is that Warrior Cloud is just coming out the pit lane.
I don't know why we've got a VSC.
Casey Jennett, no front wing.
So it's Casey, no front wing at all. We've got Mars has lost half of his front wing and Casey's lost all of his front wing, so they must have come together.
Well, I'm sure that'll go in to the steward's report after. Did miss out, unfortunately. Kurt Boy's lagged out.
Kurt Boy's left the session. Let's see if we can get Kurt Boy back in. Right. I can't see what's going on, so it's over to you while I try and get these invites out.
Yeah, we are back racing again. And Maz, no team orders at Racing Point. They come together and Maz is round and he takes Rick with him. The front two and Rick has just reset to track. Oh, disaster at the front, which has let Beefy now up into P2 and Ashwin into P3 and Brandon really looking good on those hard tyres in P4. iStreams into P5 and Rick has got end plate damage, so Rick will have to pit early doors now and he'll have Maverick over the back of him, but he can't really get in the way that early. Unbelievable restart on that VSC. Gods though, still picking it. Maverick's gotten past Madden and Madden going back round the outside and there's contact there.
Maverick loses the car a bit. He's now got Ajovic all over him.
Don't know if you caught the back end of what happened.
Gonna go for... Oh, he's dived on the inside there. That's good spatial awareness from Maverick there, because that could have gone very wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you caught what happened at the back end in the back end.
I didn't. I was trying to get Kurt Boy back into the session.
We have Mars who's binned it again. Mars not having a great night under the lights in Singapore. So for Beefy now under a second. So the next closest battle we have is Maz over the back of Bagos. I don't know if Maz has damage. It doesn't look like he does. So Maz is still going to be picking up the pace. Is Rick... Will Rick out? I think Rick's going to have to box. He's causing the bottleneck here. Maz to the penalty. For the 3-second time penalty.
And that's a cut as well. So that's another warning he would have got there.
Maz must be driving with the red mist over his eyes because he is on a man like a man on a mission.
And like I said to you earlier, the problem is...
Hang on, he's going again. He's going to go for the inside again. He's made it stick. Great move from Maz there. Rick now on the soft tyre in P13. So Rick looking
Rick's just looking to try and come back into this to get back on those mediums to the end, maybe. He's just going to set some quick laps. And F1 gets himself up to P3.
Yeah, I was about to say that. All my telemetry's gone again, and Maz has gotten Bagos as well. So now next up for Maz is the Maverick.
Well, Maz actually lost the place to Bagos there. Remember, he took him turn 1.
He did.
Maverick got him, and Maz actually had the cut back, so he got the position back through traction.
I've got to say, Dan, Beefy not letting gods go away without a fight here. Brandon has got Ashwin for company, and then iStreams though up 14 places into P5. It's good to see him up there.
Yeah, he's got no DRS to worry about from the guy behind. He's on 2 laps younger, but he seems to be keeping that. See, I say that and he goes within DRS, but must have made a mistake somewhere. I'm just going to stop talking about people now.
I wish you wouldn't. It could be a long race for me. But Bagos for the penalty now. I think the penalties are now starting to rack up. Now we're back racing under green flags. We were.
Beefy's gone wide. Beefy just nearly put it in the wall.
But we have got. We did have a yellow. It was Araverk. I think he's got damage on the front wing. He has. He must have binned it. So Araverk in the pit lane.
Gonna have Maz on Bagos on this straight.
Yeah, and we got Rick with a penalty as well. Sorry, Dan. But carry on.
Yeah, Maz is going to be right behind Maverick with coming onto the DRS straight. He's going to have Bagos behind him with his DRS, so to be one to watch.
You gonna say it, Dan?
What?
You gonna say it or not? No, he's not all over him.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
Well,
we're retiring it. It's gone.
Why are you here?
It's a nice move, nice and easy, controlled. Because we're mature commentators, we don't need to, use all these sayings and.
Don't need to stoop down to George's level. Is this what you're trying to say to me?
No, we're ultimate professionals. Us.
I don't know how to spell professional, but we'll carry on with that one.
Well, Maz is gone. Maz is.
Yeah.
Now he's cleared that. He's got. We've got a red flag. It's Casey Jennett.
A red flag?
No, it was a red car on a yellow flag. I'm confused. But no, Casey's lost a wing.
And we have Rick passing Seppo's now. Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Give me a.
Rick's just going to cut through the field.
Rick's got damage again. No, I don't think he will. He's got damage again.
Or did he change it? He may not have changed that damage.
He may not have changed it. I don't know why he wouldn't, but because ultimately, I don't think that's going to help him in the long run.
He set the fastest lap. NUF1 is just gone into second because Beefy's pit. So Casey Jennett is now retired. So let's have a look at where he played. Was that in a wall?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a DNF.
There, so that's 4 down. And no.
So Gods has got a 7-second lead over NUF1. Beefy is going to come out. Where's Beefy going to come out here? Is this going to be clear air? It is going to be clear air. So Beefy has a very good chance of this undercut now. 20 laps on those hards. He could, if he puts in some good laps, depending on how long Gods goes for, he could be net lead of this race. But he's gone wide. Out of the pit lane.
Bagos going up the inside of the Maverick makes the move stick as well. The big one there, Dan, is obviously Rick with that wing damage. Obviously couldn't get the maximum performance out of the soft tyres, and is now stuck behind 2 hard runners of Beefy and Ashwin. So he might struggle here.
Yeah, he's still going to have that extra grip coming off the corners. It's just depends how much that front wing being gone affects him on especially the third sector.
Yeah.
That final double left-hander. It'd be worth keeping an eye on to see whether or not he has to brake earlier than normal, because it's pretty much flat through there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, car can have a tendency to have a little bit of a slip and slide, as Seppo's is.
Well, Maz has made 4 seconds on Bagos since he's got past him, and he's right in the DRS now of Madden for P4.
Shows you that Maz has got the pace around here to be competitive. It's just unlucky he got spun out. As Gods is in the pit lane, so Maz will have to go 1 lap extra. Ice Strings is round as well. Gods is good stop from the Racing Point boys there. As Brandon obviously taken over from the lead. And
Ice Stream's just spin in the pit lane.
I don't know. Did he?
I'm not sure. It just seems like
he might have. He's got wing. He's changing his wing.
I think he span coming into the pit lane, got damage.
Oh.
Going back on board with Maz, he is not going to go for it on the inside, so he's going to have to wait till Madden either makes a mistake or he can get him on the next DRS zone.
Maz has got to cool himself down. He is running wide at a few places. Could be picking up those warnings.
Tell you what though, if NUF1 can stretch those tyres another 9 laps, he's still going to be in the lead, because obviously Gods is quite a long way back. He's about 15 to 20 seconds behind NUF1, so obviously he will take the lead again if the pit stop's there. But if there's a safety car with sort of 12-13 laps to go and NUF1's still out on those hards, he's This strategy's played right into his hands.
Definitely. I think if he can just keep it composed up there, he's going to be looking very good.
Gods is right on the back of Kurt Boy on those fresh tyres.
He's having
There's
a little bit of a
look
peek.
down the inside, but
I mean, it looks
always
like it's
firmly closed.
I'm going to say this: it's going to be hard to overtake Kurt Boy because I don't know which way his car's going to go.
Maz gets another time penalty.
Oh, Gods needs to be careful here, though. You need to be careful, Gods.
Well, yeah, he's 4.5 seconds ahead of Beefy, so obviously the undercut didn't work for Beefy. Somewhere along that track, he's gone wide, lost it, or Maz has pitted.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he comes out, because obviously he's got the pace to be up there.
Madden's stretching it out though on those mediums. 12 laps so far. So how long is
it stick on Kurt Boy?
He has indeed. How long is the do you lose in the pit lane around here?
It's about 25 seconds, I think, from in and out with the stop. You can check the stops now in the race director, so there's a lot of front wing changes gone on.
Rick's box again, but not fixed the wing damage, so
Rick's must be happy. Must be happy with that car.
Must be.
Those hards are going till the end now.
Yep, in Seppo's box. But he's got a job to do to catch up to the rest of the field now. Mazdo is
A new F1 has just lost a 6-second lead, and Madden leads the race. I don't know what happened.
No, I completely missed that. So Brandon was looking good.
Doesn't look like there's any damage on the car either. I've just seen the position change come up while I was watching another battle, and I have no idea what he's done.
That was about, yeah, you said it was about 12 seconds, so unless he had a bit of a moment, just spun out of a corner and...
Well, yeah, Gods is now only sort of 7-8 seconds down the road, so he's lost a lot of time. He must have spun it and just kept it out of the wall, because he's not boxed.
I think he will get this move done. Down Raffles
Boulevard. Yeah, those tyres, 13
though.
laps on those mediums, they're pretty much reaching the end of their life.
Madden did lose it coming out of turn 2 there. Turn 3?
He keeps out the way. Beefy is just past Kurt Boy as well now to try and keep with Gods. But he's 4.5 seconds back. Gods looks like he's in control of this one.
Gods now all over the back of a Maverick. He's got Bagos up front. Gods duck. Where'd he go? He's got... No, he's not. He's going to play it safe.
He's sensible. Played it safe. The only issue for him here is this gives Beefy a chance to close right up. Did you watch that delta? That's half a second already.
Yeah.
In that corner alone.
Yeah, he's going to have to push now to get past, but obviously one small mistake and it can end your race around here. Beefy is now in the same shot as Gods. I just saw him coming down that straight there. Bagelston another penalty. So...
yeah, this is helping Beefy massively. He's gone from 4.5 seconds to 3 seconds behind in half a lap. I say half a lap, that's a sector.
That's a sector, but now. Here comes Gods. He's going to get boxed in. All that's going to happen now, he's going to get boxed in, but no, he won't.
3 wide, 2 wide, he's going to get one of them at least.
Yeah,
he's still going to be stuck in that train. And there's Beefy. Just a second behind now.
And Brandon with a penalty now as well. So, but that'll help again. That'll help Brandon pull out that gap a little bit more to Gods.
It will, but that's brought Beefy. That's just saved Beefy 4 seconds of pushing.
Definitely.
Beefy needs to get this Bagos cleared so he can, and he's going to go for it on turn 1 by the looks. Gods is now P2. Beefy's too far back, so Beefy needs to clear at least one of these for the end of the DRS straight, because otherwise he's going to be in the same position that Gods just had, and he's going to lose about 4 or 5 seconds.
Definitely. The only problem now is you've got that DRS train. And Beefy though, when you look up the inside,
he's going to have a look.
No, he backs out.
He's not going to do it, so God should now go. Rick's got another time penalty. He's still down in 13th, trying to close it all back up, but Arjevic passes Maz. So Maz seems to have tailed off a little bit since the lap 3 incident, lap 4. I have no idea who's going to finish where in this race.
It's all up in the air a little bit at the moment. Obviously, got Gods on those fresh hards, and now he's tearing into the gap that Brandon has of 10 seconds. So, or is he?
No, he's not actually improving much on that time. It's slowly coming down, but for 12 lap youngest tyres, if he has passed Bagos, he's got one more to go. He's only lost a second and a half at the minute to Gods, so overall he's done well out of this if he can get this move done in the first sector.
Beefy is all over the back of the Haas of the Maverick, so fully expect Beefy to get this move done down the start finish straight. Worst case, it's going to be down Raffles Boulevard, so I think it will be down the start finish straight.
Is the only downside that overtaking on that turn 1 is that you do give up the DRS for that Raffles Boulevard. Mars gets another time penalty.
The end of the race is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a bit like snakes and ladders with the with who finishes where. So definitely look out for that one.
Lap 16.
Going quicker than what I thought this race at the moment. It's been a bit eventful, more eventful than what I thought. As we've got Ashford now over the back of Bagos going down the inside, makes the move stick. Good move from Ashford there, puts himself up to P5. Having a good race is Ashford today. As Mars is backed off. I don't know, he's just going, I think he's just going really slow there, but strange one is he gets a 3-second time penalty. But Gods really isn't tearing into Brandon as much as what I thought.
No, but that obviously he hasn't got enough gap to get himself in the lead. Looking at the deltas, he's still going to come out sort of somewhere between 8th, 9th and 10th, and then he's going to have to fight his way through the field. This smallest gap on track is actually Kurt Boy, who's now caught the back of the Bagos, who's...
Sorry, Dan, I'm just interrupting you. Kurt, God, sorry, got a penalty just then. So this is making this final part of this race very interesting.
I think that was God's first. I don't remember him getting any more than that.
But he's not pulling away from Beefy as much as what he wanted. But Ashman now getting over the back of the Maverick.
Kurt Boy's just lost an end plate, so he's dived into the pits. So he's going to have a wing change to boot with that one.
And Bagos's box as well. So I think the closest battle we've got here is the Maverick nearly finds the wall. It's going to be Ashwin going down Raffles Boulevard. DRS open. Plenty of ERS to play with for the Maverick. But Ashwin can't get the move done. So the Maverick survives another lap.
Let's pick up a time penalty running wide there.
He does indeed. As Rick will get up to P10, but it'd be interesting to see what the boys on the mediums can do. As we've got Ashman, is probably still the closest battle on the track so far.
Well, you got Kurt Boy and Bagos still together after their pit stops. He's got DRS on him now on Raffles Boulevard. Not going to get close enough though. Bagos showing some good straight line speed. But interestingly, Rick is now in the points, and we know he can take those tyres to the end. So with his damage, he's still on damage limitation, but he's got an 8-second gap to the guy behind to just keep steady, and he will pick up a point. Be disappointed though.
Definitely.
Where it's gone.
I mean, he looked very, very quick through the first qualifying. So, yeah, definitely be disappointed. But I think how I think about it would be a good recovery drive. Obviously, nothing he could do about what happened with Maz and God. So, it's got a bit unlucky where he got caught up. But see if he can hold it. But it is coming down the gap between Bagos and Rick. 3/10 so far it's come down. But Bagos will have Kurt Boy for company, so...
Yeah, and those mediums will die off.
I am going to say this,
quicker than those hards.
I've missed Ashwin past the Maverick, so Ashwin up to P4 now.
Yeah, and that's a net P3 at the moment, because obviously Brandon still has to pit from the lead.
Definitely.
He's not got a big enough gap, I don't think, to get himself out in the top 3 after it. So he will be looking at maybe 4th, 5th or 6th position to come out and try and get himself on the podium.
Definitely. It's all definitely seems up in the air for the end of the race so far. I think you're definitely right. I don't know who's going to finish where. Obviously, we lost 4 people. Ishinology, Rembo. Oh, Ashvin's hit the wall. Ashvin has just hit the wall. And I think he's got damage. I just need the camera angle to change. I actually need to change camera angle. That is what I was meant to say.
He has got a land plate missing.
So that might have just ruined his race. He goes deep. But Beefy now starting to lose the back of Gods. He's up to 4.1 now. Gods has closed it 3.5 seconds to Brandon.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at. They've got 13 laps left, so that's how long some of the guys took those medium tyres.
Yep. It'd be interesting to see what they can do, if they can make sure that they can get those tyres working in the zone. If Brandon does decide to box this lap, if he can keep him in that zone.
It's now or next lap, I think, for him. I think that gives him the best chance of making use of those tyres, unless he's going for extremely long and going for the softs.
He might just do, as Maz has picked up another penalty, unfortunately. Where is Maz now?
He's
Maz
also boxed again. He's
P13.
down in 13th. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but it's not been the best race after such a good qualifying.
Right, it's a strange one, and he will need to pick up the pace as Bagos is now getting that gap down to Rick, so Rick needs to pay attention to that gap behind. iStream's obviously up 10 places. Good solid race from him so far. Obviously had a little bit of a spin coming into the pit lane, but still in the points. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Maverick, 8 tenths now. Ashwin has fallen off. He's 10 seconds, so he will start to cause a bottleneck now, because you've got Aravert who's close up to the back of the Maverick, and the Maverick obviously in that DRS of Ashwin, who has damage so far.
Arjeverk isn't going to be taking those tyres to the end. He will go on the softs, so expect him to be very fast at the end, but he needs to clear these 2 in front of him, because he's got about 4 laps left of life in those tyres.
We'll find out what's going on with Kurt Boy, who is over the back of Bagos. So as Maz has picked up another one, I think Maz's head has just gone at this point. As he's got wing damage, Oh, Maz. I don't know what to say, mate. It's been unfortunate for you today as Kurt Boy's in the wall. Kurt Boy went for a move on Bagos and it has not paid off for him at all. So Kurt Boy is just taking him right out of contention. You need to take your overtake off Kurt Boy before you actually do any more damage than what you've already got. We've got, so that promotes Maz up. Bagos is still closing that gap. We've got, what else have we got? Nothing else.
Interestingly,
Really
FIFA Beefy's gained a couple of attempts. I'm not sure whether it's a mistake from Gods or not, but Beefy has picked up the pace a little bit. He's only 4 seconds behind now.
Yeah, and Maz is retired. Maz retired in the pit lane.
Maz has had enough. He's given it up. He said, "No, it's not my day."
It wasn't, unfortunately, that is unfortunate for Maz after a great qualifying.
Poison Pram Maz, that's all I'm going to say on that one.
I'm saying nothing, Maz. I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'll let Dan take the flak for that one.
That's alright, I don't mind. He's harmless.
It's Kurt Boy's box for the softs. I don't think they're going to make it, Kurt Boy. They won't make it 11 laps, will they?
They're going to be very slidey at the end. It'd be like driving on a wet track again. 11 laps on those softs.
Definitely.
As leaves the session, then Brandon finally pits.
Well, Brandon is going on to a set of mediums, so doesn't want to take that risk on those soft tyres. But what Brandon?
Yeah, because of the damage, he's going to come out in 3rd position, I think.
Rick for another penalty. I think
it's
he
going
will.
to be very close. If he comes at the back of this, then he's going to be in trouble.
Oh, I think he will. I think he's like.
He has come out in the back of this train. He could have done with just maybe extending that gap a bit more, but obviously he wasn't to know what the gap was. That many cars back.
You know what? I think he might be all right though. I think he might have a pace on those tyres to try and hop through. And
Beefy now only 3.5 seconds off Gods.
unless Gods has got a bit of damage we can't see, or Gods is just maintaining that gap. I don't know. But it's flicking. It is flicking a lot now, the Delta.
If he could have found his rhythm, he could be in the zone. Mars gets a penalty. So it'll be interesting to see what the points end up at, because I don't remember anybody not getting a penalty.
No, I think
if he got one early, God's got one.
I don't think iStreams has. Yeah, I don't think iStreams has. We all know Rick's got one. Mars has got some. Madden I don't know about. Brandon has one, but is on the back end of our Verk, and he's not messing about now. He needs to get through, and he is trying to find a way. You don't want to go too hot-headed now, Brandon. Keep it composed, and you'll get the move done as soon as you can, because our Verk will now be dropping off the back of the Maverick. You just need to keep yourself in that zone.
Yeah, he's a P3 on the cards for him if he can keep it tidy.
It's just strange to see.
Ashwin carrying that damage.
And has
Maverick's
boxed.
got to be boxing soon.
Ashwin's boxed, so I think he might be going on to those soft tyres. Where's...
Beefy gets the move. Beefy doesn't get a move. I'm talking rubbish. NUF1 gets a move on Ayuvik. So he will be on the DRS of Maverick now.
I mean, this is exactly what he needed though, Dan. I think this is exactly what you said. He needs to get through him quickly, and he's doing just that. And he's close right. Look, he's so much better on the brakes with the grip he has. I think this is move
should
done.
Be a straightforward move, this. Yeah. Maverick's been on those tyres for 21 laps, so he's not going to fight that.
I think that'd be good. Could be screaming at him by now, but Brandon obviously now with 11 laps left, 17 seconds to Beefy. I just think it's too much. Damn. I don't know about you, mate. I just think it's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Beefy is closing though.
It depends. Yeah, Beefy's catching up, so it depends if these two catch. It depends on the safety car. We've still got plenty of time.
This is very safe. Yellow flag, sector 2. I don't know.
I think that was Rick getting a little bit sideways there. He's in no man's land now, Rick. He's just chilling out. Sunday afternoon drive.
I think he's hit his wing a little bit more. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's damaged the wing more. And Bagos will be coming at him at a rate of knots now, so I think is it worth Rick just getting on those softs, seeing what he can do from there, or I think the points might be out of it for him today. Madden now and Araverk all in the DRS of each other, but all over the back of a Maverick who has lost 5 seconds in one lap to Brandon. It shows you how fast Brandon is pushing, and I think Brandon did just get the fastest lap of the race, so be interesting to see what he can do there as Rick. I don't know if he's going to pit or not. iStreams as Mars pit, so iStreams up to 7th now. Great drive from iStreams today. Rick is boxing and so is Bagos. This is a strange call from Bagos.
Must have damage. He's only been on those tyres for 4 laps.
But I can't see anything from damage-wise from that Williams, so saying that, I don't know. I think Brandon might be able to catch Beefy here. If those tyres can just hold out.
Those tyres are not going to do 3 seconds a lap every lap though. That's going to drop off quite quickly. Might get another 3 seconds this lap, then you're looking at 2 for a couple, and it won't be long before they're even. I think it's just a bit much about a mistake.
But I think God's just maintaining that gap to Beefy now. It's not going up, it's not really going down that much at all, so where are we now though? A few soft runners. Bagos has managed to jump Rick, so has Rick got a new front wing on? I think he has, yeah he has, so Rick will be looking to hunt down Bagos for that last point paying position. As we have Madden, Araverk and the Maverick is still going on those hard tyres, they must be worse for wear now. Have to be. Oh, they just look horrible. You can see the line on the right front tyre. That's only going to get worse. And with locking up the inside front, won't help either.
He's obviously looking for those soft tyres, isn't he? He's looking to try and drag these out to go on the softs. But he's still riding P4.
But have we got Madden having a look down the inside? No, not going to work that time.
He had a very good race, Maverick. He just kept it clean, kept it steady, picked up a couple of penalties running wide, but taking those hards 23 laps, so if he can get himself onto the softs in the next lap or two, he's going to be quick towards the end and maybe get some positions back.
Definitely, and also
iStreams is looking in 7th on a good recovery drive after deciding to attack the pit wall on his in lap.
I've got to say though, Dan, Maverick up 14 places. Is it 14? I think it's got to be something like that.
I can check that. 13 places,
13 places.
And iStream's on. There's the move from Madden down the inside up to 4th position. Brandon's 11.5 seconds off Beefy. Gods and Beefy, the gap is sort of staying the same, just over 3 seconds. And Brandon, there's not much else happening. Ajivik on the back of Maverick now. He's going to be looking to go for it. iStream gets a time penalty.
I think that's his first one though, so I don't think from the look of it it's going to harm him too much.
Well, he's going to gain a position when Maverick pits anyway. And he probably won't get caught from that because that's the way
he's boxing now. Now carry on, Dads. Oh, Maverick picked up a 5. He's picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so he will be gutted from that one.
Well, iStreams is up to 5th because Ajivik has also pitted, so iStreams now in 5th position. Madden and iStreams are quite close together, so it depends. That one could go down to penalties for 4th. Looks like the top 3 is done, but NUF1 is, well, he's 10.2 seconds and 6 laps he needs now.
Not letting that go without a fight though, there's Brandon. He's
No, you've got Ricky VR now is all over the back of Bagos like a cheap mullet on a redneck. He's going for this final point position. Oh, and he's lost the back end of it. You have a go again now. He will pick up the DRS still, I think. He has got the fuel sign up on his car.
What happened to being professionals?
Hey, I wasn't the one that started giggling like a 4-year-old schoolgirl.
I wouldn't have been if you didn't say anything like that. I thought we were meant to be professionals then.
NUF1 under 10 seconds now behind Beefy.
Quick, change subject.
We're trying to be professional.
But no, I think...
Yellow flags, that's a Renault.
That is a Renault.
It's Mars again. Mars is sideways. No damage though, not that we can see anyway.
No, but...
That does help Maverick. Maverick in those new set of softs just 3.5 seconds behind him. Comes out in 8th. Rick will be... Yeah, he's back on Bagos again for that final point position. And I don't know if it's been worth it for Rick not changing that wing at all.
Well,
he's got loads more traction through there.
Well,
it's a nice overtake there for the final point so far. And they both pick up a time penalty.
I think Rick did damage that wing just a little bit more, so before he had to box for those softs. Big Bagos has got damage, is he? Yeah, Bagos has got big damage on the right front, so is Bagos going to box again? Yeah, Bagos going to box, but that will cost him.
The gap's down to 7.7 seconds now. And he's speeding in the pit lane for Bagos as well, so unfortunate end for his race. He retires. Did see that one coming?
Yeah. Mars did another penalty.
The yellow flag is for that car retiring in the pit lane.
Beefy is only it's down to 3 seconds.
Yeah, he's down to 3 seconds, and NUF1's only 7 behind him, so NUF1's only just over 10 seconds off the lead now. I think he's just going to run out of laps.
I think he will. 4 laps left. I don't think he's going to be able to get... I think he will.
Whatever happened to him in the middle of the race that cost him that 6-7 second gap, looks like that's going to be vital for his race.
I think it would have cost him the races. Beefy...
It could have cost him the race. Is obviously he's catching Beefy insanely quick, but Beefy's not driving slow because he's chipping away at Gods. Just going to check the time penalties between these top three because I think they're all even.
Other than that, it's all settled down. The gaps are there. Nobody in DRS. Nobody closing in. So
they are all even on penalties at the minute. Obviously, they'll know what the person in front's got because they can ask Jeff.
Yep.
So he's less than 6 seconds behind now on F1. Penalties could come into this because Beefy is less than a penalty behind Gods. NUF1's trying to get within a penalty of Beefy, and they're all on the same. So with 4 laps to go, it's whoever can keep this the cleanest.
Definitely. Obviously, it helps that none of them are in DRS, but Beefy's got that down to 2.8 now.
Yeah, and NUF1's got that down to 5.7. It's gone up a little bit, but I think that's just the nature of that corner. Yeah, 5.6 now. So this is going to be an interesting last few laps. If
Beefy 2.6.
It depends if Gods feels the pressure now, because he's just driven round this track as the net leader all the way. He's not really been challenged. Beefy did get close, and obviously that gap got cut by the battle ahead of him. But other than that, he's just chilled all race, been relaxed.
Definitely, but 2 point. This might not be over if Beefy can really hammer it for the next 3 laps. This might not be over. Well, see, Beefy now 2.5. So, as you said, Dan, he is in that extra penalty range now. But nobody.
Yeah, that gap's starting to slow down now from NUF1. 6 laps on those mediums. They won't be anywhere near as quick as he wants them to be. We'll still keep chipping away at that time, but it's not going to be the 2-3 seconds that we saw earlier.
No, definitely not.
It's 4.3. He is still catching, but I think it's just going to be 2 or 3 laps too short. But whatever happens to, that's the big issue here for him. Whatever happens in that middle sector, halfway through the first stint for him, has probably cost him a win.
Definitely. That is unfortunate, but this is where Beefy seems to be gaining this time here. In this last sector. But not this time round.
Gods is just taking it easy just to control the fact that he doesn't want to pick another penalty up, because he knows that obviously he can lose a second a lap to him. And NUF1 picks up a penalty, and that will probably be the end of that charge for him.
I think it will be. Must be pushing, just trying to make sure he can get there. God's nearly hit the wall. So
we got 3 laps, just less than 3 laps to go, and he's less than 3 seconds behind. If he can get in that DRS onto the last lap, he's got 2 zones around that track where he can really give it to him, Beefy.
Be interesting to see if Beefy really can.
I think NUF1 catches Beefy before Beefy catches Gods, though. On track, anyway.
It's definitely looking that way at the moment.
Just looking further down the grid, there's not much else happening. It's just very big gaps between all the drivers, seeing the race out. Tepos and Worry Cloud, unfortunately, not going to pick up anything here. Rick gets a time penalty. And
Gods is round! Behind. Gods is round!
And Gods is just...
He's
just throwing it all away.
Gods is just...
Well, he's going to have to change the wing. There's no way he can do 2 laps on that wing without being caught by Madden. It's 30 seconds, but that's going to be so difficult to... And now NUF1's only 2 seconds behind Beefy. Beefy has obviously done the work to close that gap to make Gods push, but I bet NUF1's going to be kicking himself about that first stint.
I think he will, and I'm just having a look. It's down to 27.3 now. That was 36 seconds. Sorry, yeah, about 32 seconds. Sorry, not 36, but that is coming down dramatically. Madden might find himself on the podium, but then you can't rule out ice streams. You never know with the penalties.
Well, Madden's got no penalties at all.
Well, then there you go.
So Madden looking like a podium. Yeah, God's pit. So Madden is going to be thrown into that podium position just for being Mr. Clean.
I mean, fair play to him. Hard track to not get penalties, you said earlier.
Well,
and
yeah, and looking at the gap at the top, it's almost in DRS range.
But Gods is not putting on softs.
He might not have any left.
I mean, I would chuck a pair on though, even if they're used.
No, there's no time in them. A new set of mediums is just as quick, but NUF1 is now going to have DRS in the next zone, and he's going to have a lap to try and take it from Beefy, at least on track.
There's a
yellow flag as there's... I think it's just God's exiting the pit lane.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. It's God's coming at the pit.
Ashton gets a penalty now. We'll stay on board with a battle for the race win. And obviously has Brandon got one more to say down than Beefy?
Unless there's one that the race director isn't telling me about, I believe so.
But Mars is on the back now. Obviously the gap, there'll be a couple of gaps that are close now. With Gods unfortunately spinning at the last hurdle. He had the race under control, but now as we start the final lap of the Singapore Grand Prix, Brandon will be tucked right up behind that Alfa Romeo gearbox.
You still want to get this done on track. You want to pass him. You want to make Beefy force into a mistake and, you know, pick up a penalty or two maybe, but he's going to really push it now.
Here we go,
Beefy
DRS,
has no ERS left. I don't think he's going to be able to stop this.
He can't.
He's not, and that's a nice clean move.
I've got to say, it's a great drive from Brandon, even if he doesn't get the P1 he wants. It's been a great drive to come back through the field after what happened in qualifying, and then losing that time halfway through the race. Obviously, unfortunately, well, he got let off from Gods, but he's well.
Been exceptional since that pit stop. To bring that 18-second gap down to Beefy, the championship leader, in 10 laps is insanely quick. Fresher tyres or not, to still do it and to still just bang in the laps lap after lap is really impressive. Mars and Gods following each other around for potentially 6th and 7th. Don't know what's happened with either. Maverick just a second, or he's in the DRS as well. He's sitting behind them, so we have got a little bit of a battle on the final lap.
Yeah, which is always good.
Coming into the final sector, NUF1 from Beefy, it's just 1.3 seconds now already. He's really giving it his all. Phenomenal second stint of the race for him.
I can't believe the pace. It's been a great race, but Brandon will cross the line to win the Singapore Grand Prix, but Beefy will take it. Beefy will take it on penalties by 1.5 seconds. So unfortunately for Brandon, it just wasn't quite enough, but great pace for the second stint, and congratulations to Beefy winning the Singapore Grand Prix, extending that championship lead. And Madden coming through. This is the gap that they had in the end. This is the pace that they had. Madden obviously driving a great race. No penalties. Coming now, got two corners left.
Gods would be kicking himself because Gods had that under control.
Definitely, and here comes Madden.
They were that far ahead. He's come out with a wing change in 6th position. We've got yellow flags. I'm not sure what that's for.
I think that was Madden just going slow over the line.
Great drive for iStreams as well, from the back of the grid to come P4. That's a great drive.
Rick's got a load of penalties. I don't know how many he's got.
Yeah, he's got 31 seconds on Kurtboy. Kurtboy was lapped.
Oh,
so that 10th place is safe.
Maverick with a 5-second on
Ajovic jumping up to 7th by having less penalties. So Rick will come through in 10th place to at least pick himself up a point.
And that is that. I will quickly grab people in the party. I'll make it public quickly. Take it away then, if you can.
Yes, mate. Are you getting the guys in, or do you want me to send some in?
I am getting them in, bud. If you could send them, maybe just a couple of backup ones. I haven't got Madden, but if you could grab Madden for me, just while I go through the final classification. as we now have, when it loads, the full results, and there it is. FIFA Beefy coming home for another race win in the GP2 in VIL. Brandon in P2, Mad in P3, that is your podium right there. iStreams in P4, Ashwin in P5, Gods P6, Araverk in 7th, Maverick 8th, Mars 9th, and Rick finishing out the points in 10th, Kurtboy in 11th, Worry Cloud in 12th, and Seppo is in 13th. Quite a few DNFs today. We have Bagos, Maz, Casey, Furface, Brentbo, and Ishinology, unfortunately, all DNFing from the race today. Who have we got in here? We've got the VIL. Why isn't the Scouser joining?
I've invited Madden. I'll show everyone how to join.
Oh, okay, I'll try Beefy again. But for the meantime, we're joined by P2, Brandon.
What I want to know is what happened when you had a 6-second lead in the middle of that race.
I spun.
When you lost the lead, you spun, right? Yeah. I caught the end of you starting again, but I think that was the difference between first and second in the end.
Absolutely, I was 10 seconds ahead, and obviously I lost to, I think it was Madden. Obviously, then he found that 10 seconds. Also, the fact I spun, but then I couldn't get it into reverse, and then I couldn't get the throttle on, so I probably lost about 3 or 4 more seconds just from that alone. So that could have been the difference, literally just me not finding reverse.
Well, yeah, it turns out that obviously you ended up being first over the line on track because that racing point lost it with 2 to go, but still the pace in the second stint was very good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take a P2 though.
Your pace in the
race,
second,
well done, mate.
Yeah. I mean, your pace in the second stint of that race, Brandon, was scary to say the least. How were your mediums still okay? I take it at the back end of the race, or were they having a bit of a scream at you?
To be honest, not really. I didn't really feel much. if I'm going to be honest, I just kept my head down. Didn't really push in the sense that I just kept consistent every lap. I just get into a groove, and I think this is the sort of track that I enjoy, especially in the last game as well. I've always enjoyed Singapore. I think it's just because it was consistency, and if you can just get a good string of laps every time, like throughout the race, then you're in a good position. So like obviously like Beefy won, well done to him. A good drive, from outside the top 10 as well, I believe. So yeah, we both made our way through. There's a lot of stuff that could have happened today, but it didn't. So I'll take a P2 anyway because it's another podium place. But what could have been, I'm gutted to not win. But again, GG to Beefy. Yeah, on to the next race.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, congratulations, mate, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Beefy.
I've lost my headset. Is this echoing?
No, it's fine, mate.
No, it's actually better than your normal headset.
Yeah, it is.
No, go on.
Go on, Dad.
That's a great win for you in the end. Obviously, I bet you weren't expecting that with a couple of laps to go.
I wasn't expecting the whole race. I just couldn't even do a lap, and then I was alright through the race, and I thought, yeah, I'll get a podium, like P3, I was thinking, yeah. And then, yeah, a bit lucky at the end.
Well, you kept it on track, you had less penalties, and you didn't put it in a wall,
I was 1 away from a second penalty, like the whole race from like lap 7, and then I knew they both had 1, I was like, I'm not checking again. I must have got 1 late on.
Yeah, Brandon got one pushing, trying to catch you, he got one late on.
Oh, you didn't need to, my tyres were gone.
But no, it was good. Good win. Obviously, extends your lead at the top of the championship, so can't
Best
complain.
race so far. Enjoyed it.
No, it was a good race, mate. Good race. But
what have we got next?
I don't know. I'm the worst person to ask. Oh,
Spain.
Ooh, no, I love Spain. So yeah,
I do love a bit of Spain.
I think these next few tracks up until probably the Christmas, I'm probably going to enjoy, if I'm honest. All tracks to enjoy. So yeah, I'll put it out there.
Better watch your back, Beefy.
Beefy's good. Beefy's is the best.
Beefy shouldn't be in GP2. Should be in GP1.
Nah, but to be fair, Look where I've qualified. I couldn't do any laps today.
Yeah, but talk us through that then, because it seems just like
you will see a lot of tracks like that where I just can't do anything and just come through.
But no, fair enough. Good stuff. Anything you want to add, Dan, or?
No, just well done, both of you. Enjoyed.
Yeah, and we will end that here. So, thanks for joining us, and hope you join us for Spain in GP1 on Thursday.